Hi, I'm Mary Gormley, Regional Development Team Manager with InvestNI's Regional Business Group. I've had the pleasure of working in partnership with councils, Enterprise NI and other organisations involved in economic development over the past number of years. And I'm delighted to be able to confirm to you all that InvestNI has secured funding to help deliver an Economic Recovery Innovation Grant. This grant aims to support small and micro businesses recover from the impact of the pandemic. I'll talk you through the eligibility of the scheme, the process for submitting applications, the level of support available and the timelines involved. A key criteria of the Economic Recovery Innovation Grant is that businesses must hold silver level innovator recognition from Innovate NI in order to be able to apply, and Michael Johnston will talk you through the innovation accreditation process. But before I hand over to Michael, I have a specific ask of you, our economic development partners. That is, we all know that small and micro businesses often find it difficult to understand what supports are available to them and how to access those supports. So my ask is that you would make the businesses that you work with aware of the Economic Recovery Innovation Grant and support them to initially submit an innovation assessment to Innovate NI, and if successful in securing silver level innovator recognition, that you would then support them to submit an application for funding. I'll now hand over to Michael, who will walk you through the Innovate NI accreditation process.
Hi, I'm Michael Johnston, Innovation Development Executive with Innovate NI. Innovate NI will be working in partnership with the Invest NI team delivering the EREG grant, and I'll be talking you through the aims of the Innovate NI accreditation program, the innovation framework, specifically the stage that the EREG grant is targeted towards. I will also talk you through the process of submitting an innovation assessment and, importantly, the specific information we require in your assessment form. A key objective of the Innovation Accreditation Program is to build an obsession for innovation and stimulate growth across the entire business space of Northern Ireland. And I would like to repeat Mary's ask, and that is to make all the businesses you engage with aware of the EREG grant and encourage them to get started on the process by initially submitting an innovation assessment to Innovate NI, and if successful in securing a silver level accreditation, that you would then support them to submit an application for funding. So the main aim of Innovate NI is to build an obsession for innovation across Northern Ireland. We aim to do this by highlighting the importance of innovation for businesses, create more awareness of the value of innovation for businesses, increase the number of Northern Ireland businesses successfully engaging in innovation activity through the use of our innovation framework, generate more commercial value from our investment in R&D from the ideation stage right through to commercial value, and then build an obsession for innovation by recognising innovation successes across the entire business community in Northern Ireland. So I'd like to talk you through the innovation framework. The framework's made up of 4 different stages, going from what we call idea generation or ideation through to the next stage, which is select, test and develop, then on to commercialization, and finally value creation. Now ideation, the ideation stage is what we call a bronze level innovator. Select, test and develop is what we call a silver level innovator, and commercialization is gold and value creation is platinum. So for the purposes of EREG, we are specifically targeting the silver level innovators. So these are companies that are they've selected an idea and they are now seeking to validate and test that idea and develop it and get it ready for commercialization. And on our website, there will be tools and techniques provided to help businesses at each and every stage of their journey. And they will be recognized as they move along that framework. So I'll talk you through the process now. Firstly, you need to complete the EREG eligibility checker on investni.com. If potentially eligible for EREG, applicants will be directed to the innovation assessment on innovateni.com. Here you will download, complete and submit your innovation assessment, and you need to complete it as fully as possible. We will aim to notify businesses of the outcome of the innovation assessment within 4 weeks, and silver level innovators that are eligible for eReg will receive a link to apply on the My INI customer portal. Now I'd like to talk you through completing your innovation self-assessment. Innovate NI defines a novel idea as an idea that will lead to the development of a new or improved product, service, business model or process that creates value in the business, produces new profits or business growth. So firstly, you would need to clearly explain the innovation. Tell us how and why it is believed the idea will create value in the business and how it will directly lead to new profits or increased growth. Secondly, you'll be asked to demonstrate how the innovation will clearly differ from what your competitors are offering. Thirdly, you'll be asked to outline how the idea will be evaluated or tested. Include activities that will be carried out to test and validate it. Fourthly, if implementing digital technology, please explain in detail what tasks are planned to enhance or transform your processes or business model so as to add value to your business. And fifth, if the innovation is still at the idea stage, please clearly explain the plans to move the idea to the next step on the innovation framework. Thank you, and I'll now hand you back to Mary.
So now that you're all familiar with the innovation framework and recognition process, I'll walk you through the Economic Recovery Innovation Grant application process. So the Economic Recovery Innovation Grant aims to support businesses recover from the impact of COVID-19 by providing grant support for the development, the testing and introduction of a novel, innovative idea or project into the business. The grant scheme has been launched by Minister Lyons and is funded by the Department for Economy's Economic Recovery Action Plan 21-22. It can provide up to a maximum of £5,000 to support eligible costs. It's open to any business who can demonstrate that it meets all of the eligibility criteria, and it will be restricted to one application per business. In terms of the eligibility criteria, to be eligible to apply, businesses must meet all of the following eligibility criteria. That is, they must be based in Northern Ireland, be classified as an SME, and the definition of an SME can be found on the website. They must be pre-trading or actively trading. They must be registered with HMRC and recognised as a silver level innovator by Innovate NI. The business must be able to confirm that receipt of the eReg grant will not take them above the state aid de minimis or minimal financial assistance ceiling, and you can find more information on these ceilings on our website. In terms of what expenditure would be considered eligible for eReg, approved applicants can use the funding to contribute towards the eligible costs associated with implementing the innovative project. So some examples of eligible expenditure would include the testing and developing of new products or processes, equipment, skills development, marketing and consultancy. And we would recommend that businesses list all costs associated with the project on the application form. A number of restrictions apply in relation to the grant. So, for example, a business is not eligible to apply if it currently holds a bronze, gold or platinum level innovation accreditation, if it holds a current letter of offer of support from Invest NI, or if it has received financial support from Invest NI within the last 3 years. Now, there are some exceptions to that, for example, innovation vouchers or COVID emergency grant schemes, and the details of those schemes can also be found on the website. A business is not eligible to apply if it has received support for the proposed innovative project from another government or public sector source, again with the exception of innovation vouchers. It is not eligible to apply if it's a primary agricultural producer, or, as I've said previously, if it would exceed its applicable state aid de minimis or minimal financial assistance ceiling in the last 3 years. Check the website for the full list of restrictions. In terms of how can a business apply, well, it's a 3-step process. So the first step is for the business to complete the eligibility checker on Invest NI's website. The online checker will ask the business key questions relating to the eligibility criteria for the grant. It will quickly assess if the business is eligible to apply. And once you're satisfied that the business is eligible to apply, please advise the businesses to go to step 2 or step 3 as appropriate. So step 2 of the process is where the business can apply to Innovate NI for its innovation accreditation level. If the business has received a bronze or silver level innovator recognition prior to the 1st of April, they will be asked to resubmit an innovation assessment to Innovate NI. And that's really to ensure that the innovation recognition level remains accurate in order to determine whether the business may be eligible to apply for the grant. If the business has not obtained innovation recognition, please ask them to submit their innovation assessment to Innovate NI. Or if it has been assessed as a silver level innovator, they will receive an email notification from Innovate NI with a link to Invest NI's My INI portal where they can complete the online application. Stakeholders can support the businesses throughout the application process. So in relation to step 3 of the application process, if the business has obtained silver level innovation accreditation between the 1st of April and the 10th of November 21, please advise the business to email a copy of their silver level innovator certificate to erig@investni.com. Once the business's silver level innovator status has been validated by the eRig team, or for any new silver level innovators awarded after the 10th of November 21, they will receive an email with a link to Invest NI's My INI portal where they can complete the online application. And the application process should take less than 1 hour. In terms of the electronic documents that are required with the application, we require proof of identity. So for example, that could be a form of photographic ID, such as a scanned or photographed copy of a valid passport or driving licence. In the case of a limited company, it needs to be by a registered director. Proof of business legitimacy. So for that, we would like to see a clear and legible scanned photograph or screenshot copy of your HMRC SA302 or tax calculation document or your SA250 document. That's a letter which is issued by HMRC when you're first registered for self-assessment. Either of these documents should show your unique taxpayer reference as well as the business's name and address. We also require proof of address, so for example a utility bill, a bank statement or a rates bill for the business that's dated within the previous 3 months of your application. In terms of bank details, we require a UK sterling bank statement dated within the last 3 months for an account which is to be used by your business that confirms your business entity, the business bank account and sort code. And please only provide bank account details where a BACS payment can be accepted by that account. And then obviously we require proof of your silver level innovator certificate. Further details are available on the website. In terms of the timescales associated with the eRig applications, the applications will be open from the 10th of November 21 to the 31st of January 22, or possibly earlier, subject to budget availability. Invest NI will accept and process applications on a first come first served basis, and the notification of a funding decision will be issued to each applicant via email. Successful applicants will be issued with a letter of offer electronically, and that letter of offer must be accepted and returned electronically within 1 month of the date of issue and no later than the 31st of March 2022. Invest NI will be unable to pay out against accepted letters of offer received by us after the 31st of March 2022. And that's because the funding that we've received for this grant scheme is an in-year allocation and is not available post that date. Monitoring of the implementation of eRig offers will commence within 2 months after the release of payment to the applicant. So I hope you found this information helpful. I'd recommend that you visit the website where you will find more detailed information that you can share with your business advisors, business mentors and with the businesses themselves. I look forward to receiving applications for the grant scheme, and I want to thank you for your time and attention.